Journalist Whitney Webb reveals how U.S. intelligence agencies maintain close ties with leading tech companies, including Google, Palantir, and Oracle, turning regular people into easy targets for digital surveillance and blackmail.
So Epstein used to be the tool for sexual blackmail before, but now that new tool is technology. So are they able to like hack your webcam and get a video of you, and then they say, hey, look, we filmed you doing this thing. You're ours now. Is that how it works? Or?
Well, all of that is possible. It is known that that U.S. intelligence can access people's devices remotely. And as I mentioned earlier, you have not only Epstein having all of these ties to what are now our biggest, the people that run or created the biggest companies in big tech, but a lot of those big tech companies were created with the direct involvement of our intelligence service, right? So as an example, Oracle, one of the biggest tech companies in the world, created by Larry Ellison. And before he created Oracle, he was working on Project Oracle at the CIA and then turned it into a company that became a major contractor for the CIA and now contracts for tons of other stuff. But you could argue that Larry Ellison never really let go of those ties. And I think there's plenty of evidence for that. I've written a lot about Palantir in particular, which is really the engine of the surveillance state profiling pre-crime system that I sort of mentioned earlier. They were funded first by, its co-founder Peter Thiel, but also by the CIA's venture capital firm In-Q-Tel. The CIA was their only client for their first 3 to 4 years, maybe longer, I forget. As a company, their engineers went to Langley, Virginia CIA headquarters every 2 weeks, having the CIA tweak and give them guidance on the development of their product, according to current and then CEO of Palantir, Alex Karp. The intended clients of Palantir were always the CIA. It's really the closest thing you can really see as a CIA front company, essentially. And then, I feel like there's other examples as well. Facebook, as I've argued in my article, The Military Origins of Facebook, which came out in 2021, I believe, argues that Facebook was a repurposing of this DARPA program called LifeLog because of the people involved with it early on, how it essentially mirrors LifeLog exactly, and how the same people that put Facebook on the map, like Peter Thiel, had also repurposed other DARPA programs like Total Information Awareness as private companies, which in that case is the aforementioned company Palantir, essentially explicitly a privatized version of this Total Information Awareness surveillance dragnet that was shut down by Congress. It was previously housed by the Pentagon's DARPA. It was shut down because of a huge outcry from the media and also from, Congress and all sorts of advocacy groups, because they rightly pointed out it would eliminate the constitutional right to privacy for Americans. And Palantir has done that, but from the cozy operating room of the private sector. People weren't outraged by a private sector company doing it, but they were when the government was doing it. But it's a government contractor, so the government is still doing it. They just sort of have this degree of separation now between them. So essentially, if you have someone like Epstein who's operating on behalf of intelligence services, and those agencies want the quote-unquote intelligence and use that to blackmail someone, and you have all these tech companies, and the person you want to blackmail uses Google, uses Oracle, uses Microsoft, or whatever, it's not very hard to be able to access all of their information.